Hey, what's up? John Sonmez from SimpleProgrammer.com. So I just got out of the gym doing my workout here, and I had a bit of a rough week actually. A bunch of crap just happened this week to me financially. There was some bad things that happened with my rental properties, and sending my iPhone to Amazon and them telling me it's damaged and not giving me my $500 or $600 trade-in value, giving me $0, and just a bunch of stuff. I was on jury duty this week, or I've got to serve on Friday. I had to go in on Monday. Just not good stuff, right? Just one of those weeks, you get punches in the stomach, like as I've said before, and that got me thinking a lot about the mental mind frame, or dealing with adversity and dealing with the things that fate throws your way. And this comes from, I don't know if you know or not, but I follow the school of thought of kind of the Stoic philosophy. I've mentioned some good books on that, definitely Marcus Aurelius's Meditations, but I actually like better Seneca's Letters on Morality, which you can find for free online as well. But essentially, a lot of the Stoic thinking, and the reason why I like it so much, it goes around this. It basically revolves around this. This idea, this is, I would say, central to it, which is that fate, right? Chance, fortune, however you call it, right? Circumstances beyond your control, they will happen to you. And you can't control them. And no matter what you do, no matter how successful you are in life, no matter how tough you are, no matter how much money you have, there are events that can occur that can hurt you and damage you that you can't control, right? You could be a billionaire, and there are certain circumstances that could conspire against you, as cautious as you are, that could wipe you out and leave you homeless on the street. Any one of us is susceptible to that. We could be killed instantly. We could lose our limbs. We could lose our loved ones. There's all kinds of bad things that can happen to us. Or, well, I don't want to say bad, right? Because these things are not necessarily bad. This is also part of the Stoic philosophy. But there's things that we do not desire that can happen to us. Fortune is a bitch, as they say, right? Fortune will happen to you one way or another. And so, that's what I tend to think. When bad things happen to me like this, especially in a row like this, especially that gut punch one, right? When you get that $5,000 bill you weren't expecting, or something along those lines, this is your testing time. This is the time where you have to really dig deep and think about how, you can control your own environment. You can control your mind, how you react to things, your attitudes, and how you feel, but you can't ever control fate. Fortune will always do what so it'll do what it will, right? So if you rest your happiness, right? If you rest your well-being, if you are basically depending on external things that are controlled and buffeted by fortune, then you're going to be susceptible to the roller coaster effect, to the tides, the crests and valleys of fortune, right? Instead of having a steady, solid ground. So, for example, if you're tied so much to your wealth, or you're tied so much to, the things of the world that can change and that can be taken from you, anything that can be taken from you, if you've tied your happiness and your well-being in that, you're in trouble, because at some point fortune fortune is fickle. Fortune could turn against you, and you could lose that thing. So really the Stoic thought and philosophy revolves around this idea of internalizing and basically not depending on things that are in the realm of fortune, right? Of fate. So instead, you build up your own strength. You become mentally strong, right? You don't depend on external things. You become self-reliant, right? You choose to interpret the environment and circumstances as you want to, the ways that will make you tougher. And so a lot of Stoics would do things like go without food, or pretend to have poverty for a few days, just to experience it, just to kind of toughen themselves up, to realize that they don't need other things for happiness, right? That they can find those things internally. And so what this all boils down to is this simple fact, right? When these things happened to me, right, this week, I had a choice, right? I could get all upset. I could get sad. I could get mad. I could go through the emotional roller coaster, right? I mean, to some degree, it hurts, right? It's not, I'm not going to lie. It's not like, oh, it didn't affect me at all, but it affected me a lot less, let's say, than it would have 10 years ago. And the reason is because I'm not so attached, right? Because I know that that these are not the things that are going to make me happy, that I can choose to react to a thing how I want to, right? I can expect, if I have this expectation that everything I have could be taken from me at any moment, right? But I'm investing in things that can't be taken from me. I'm investing in my self-discipline. I'm investing in my mental attitude. I'm investing in becoming wise and acquiring knowledge. All things that can't be taken from me, right? In developing my character, in growing as a person, right? I'm investing in those things, and so those are what are important. And so when adversity happens like this, I see it as an opportunity to grow further, because now how I handle this situation and how I feel about it and how I choose to react to it and how I choose to muster on, to carry on, to not let it destroy my day or my week, but to push forward and to push harder, actually, in spite of it, that is the thing that sticks and grows and expands me, and you too. So that's the thing I would leave you with today. Is, I guess I would invite you to, think about when bad things happen, when things that you interpret as bad, how there actually can be opportunities, and how you choose to react to those things. Because, if you hold so tightly onto your world, onto the material things, onto the things, not just material, but things that can be taken away by fate, by fortune, that are external, that you don't have control over, then you're always going to be at the whims of some external force. But if you put your faith, if you put your value, if you put your work and determination into things that can't be taken away, things like I said, self-discipline, self-worth, character building, right, knowledge, wisdom, things like that, then you're not as susceptible to the outside influences, right? Then nothing can harm you. You sort of become invincible, and that's kind of the goal. A Stoic's kind of end goal is to become so invulnerable to the world, so not caring what happens externally, and so non-dependent on the things that fate and fortune provides, that they're almost invincible, that no attack can harm them, right? And that's the thing to think about, right? Is every time that these things happen, this is an opportunity to grow. And it's not the end of the world. It's not, you have the things that you've acquired that can't be taken by fate and fortune, and you can continue to grow those things. The alternative is, you can be sad, you could be upset, you could throw a fit, you could say it's not fair, and it's not fair, right? And every single time that fortune throws you a curveball, you can just go and be upset, right? And you can't have any security, because you're always wondering what's going to happen to you, right? So that's the alternative, right? And that's what most people live. Most people are dependent on fate. They're not self-reliant. They ride this roller coaster of whatever fortune has to deliver to them to that day. So I'd invite you to not be that kind of person, and to start to think about circumstances in a different way, and to choose to interpret them how you want to. So anyway, that's all I got to say about that for today. If you like these videos, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'll talk to you next time. Take care.